Good morning. And you've probably seen the title and you thought it to be a little bit clickbaity, so you pressed it anyway. And the title is, I'm going to challenge Einstein. Now, who am I to challenge a genius? Well, I will challenge something, but let's face it, he's right. Okay, so what I'm challenging, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. And that leads me to start thinking about something, because my background comes from the bodybuilding fraternity. So that space there, that was very niche, where there wasn't many people that were involved in trying to defy gravity on a daily basis and consume a surplus and a deficit of calories in a manipulative way in order to create and carve out the best body for them. What we tended to do is the same thing daily, but we expected different results. Coming from my position, my standpoint, my experiences, I first stepped on stage as a drug-free bodybuilder, and there were 8 places up for grabs, but you could only get top 6, and then it'll be +7. So you could never know further than that if you came last. Well, I was +7. Doing the same thing on a repeated basis daily over a certain amount of years, I stepped on stage and I got first place, and I won. And I won numerous amount of titles. And then it got me thinking, if anyone actually reflects on that and digs a little deeper, what they will see over the surface of doing the same thing every day is actually not. What it is, it's an intensive, intrinsic focus of a worthy goal. So the definition of success is the progressional steps towards the revelation of your worthy ideal. So if you had an idea in your head and you wanted to make it tangible, if you wanted to make it present, if you wanted to make it live, you would follow certain procedures, certain steps, and then that perceived outcome would be a reality. And that's your worthy ideal. So the pursuit of your worthy ideal and the revelation of your worthy ideal is your success. So our worthy ideal was to win, get on stage, go against different competitors in the hope that they've got an off day and your on day beats their off day. That's ultimately what it's about. But the procedure of getting on that stage is your daily routine, not stopping on your daily routine. So mapping your methods out on a daily basis. So when you are in that kind of avenue, in that kind of lane, there are not many things that can take you out of your lane. So you're perceived as selfish, but you have to become selfish to be selfless. So what you give to the world is your experience by being selfish. And with that, you have to get up at a certain time. Depending on your schedule for work, or if you don't work, etc., you have to get onto the pavement and you have to start running. You have to do your cardio. And then after your cardio, you got to have your shower. Then you got to have your meal, number 1. So you break the fast because you're on a fasted state. And then after you break your fast, then what you do, you go for meal number 2, number 3, number 4, until your workout. So you have your pre-workout and your post-workout, and you might take some supplements along with that. These are all timed. These are all very, very regular. And with that, what you start forging is a pattern, the pattern of behavior. And that is the definition of Einstein's insanity, because he's saying if you do the same things every day, how can you expect different results? My argument to that, or should I say my challenge to that, is that you've got to do those daily steps on a daily basis. It's the routine, right? Routine equals results. So the definition of insanity then is you having a routine. There is a caveat to that. Now this is where I agree with the dude, because if you carry on doing what you've done to get where you want to go, then that's it. You're not going to get any further, are you? You're not going to get any further. So what do you have to do? You have to strip it back. You have to break down to break through. You have to map out another avenue, another journey, another process. You have to get even more deeper, more intrinsic, more understanding about your inner self, more awareness. And you have to tweak things. You have to adapt things. Adaptation. Necessity is the mother of all adaptation. And we know that now more than anything, it being in this COVID-19 environment. You know that more than anything. There is a necessity right now to survive. So what do? We adapt. We have to adapt. So what have we done? We've social distanced. Do you understand? Even though we may be doing the same things daily, we're heading towards a more successful outcome. And that is by doing the same things on a daily basis. So we're repeating. So when Einstein said the definition of insanity is by doing the same thing every day and repeating it. So repeating the same thing every day, yeah, that's true, but let's challenge that a little bit, because you must do the same thing every day in order to find out if that one thing is working. And if you are leading up to a certain event, leading up to a certain goal, that one thing is what you need to do for quite a long while. And then once you achieve that goal, you've got to change the action steps. You've got to change the action steps. Hopefully that's been of some thought. Hopefully you've found some value with that one. And hopefully you wasn't lost in the mire of my confusion. And I wish you the greatest day that you have had thus far.